All right, so let's talk a little bit more about DC now. Let's talk about Batman: The Doom That Came to Gotham. So, Ricardo, if you don't mind, I want you to do the synopsis for this one, right? But here's the thing, right? I did not watch the trailer for this. I know a lot of people did, but I just saw that big announcement. Oh, it's coming out, and this is the trailer, right? So I'll confess something,
Right.
right? I am not that big when it comes to period-centric Batman stories, right? Because I feel like,
Right.
while I'm trying to adjust to the setting and the mannerisms and whatnot, the films itself, right? Case in point, got to my Gaslight, right? Perfect example,
Right.
right? I now have to adjust the world. While I'm adjusting to the world, sorry, right? I have to be mindful that they're gonna throw characters at me that I already know from the Batman from the Batman series, right? But the different versions of it, right? So in this case, it's the same thing, right? So while I'm getting used to the fact that this is the 1920s, this is an altered reality, right? Ever so often they'll throw, oh, this character, that character, that character. It could be a little daunting for me, right? And I felt the
Right.
same way personally watching this show here, right? Okay, yeah, I mean we're in this new world, you know what I mean? We new conceit and whatnot. Same characters that you know, but just different contexts to each of them, right? Well, I should say to a majority of them, right? And this one
Right.
is no different, right? And I'll close this, right? After the fact, like after watching this, actually looked up the source material, right? And I saw a name, and when I saw the name, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Mike Mignola. When I saw that name, I was like,
Okay.
yeah, this is right up his alley, right? Where it's more fantasy oriented. It leans a little more into the horror aspect of things. In this case, there's numerous Lovecraft, references in this too. But yeah, the moment when I saw his name there, I was like, yeah, this is right up his alley here, right? So yeah, essentially what this is yeah, Batman does H.P. Lovecraft. That's really what this show is, right? What the
Pretty
the
much.
the
Yeah.
um the graphic novel is and what the film is, right? But yeah, Ricardo, take it away. What is the Doom that came to Gotham about?
Yeah. So basically, the story is that the basically historically, Batman have to do with a sort of weird horror shit going down, and it's something connected to Ra's al Ghul and the his family, and then eventually we learn why and how all of this horror shit happening because of the foundation of Gotham and who founded Gotham, which is a big twist, a great twist. Uh, and basically the idea is that Batman have to solve a bunch of weird horror things involving the devil, or you're not sure if it's the devil or somebody like it. And Oliver Queen is part of this, and um, Kane, Cat Kane, well, they call her Kylie Kane in this, and then a version of Jason Todd, but he's like an Asian Jason Todd because he's called J Todd in this. Like
Yeah,
that's a weird twist.
Sanji. I was like, all right,
Sanjay Todd. Like, okay,
okay,
whatever.
yeah,
My boy Tim Ross as Lucius Fox in this, not bad. So he was good.
yeah, yeah,
Uh,
not bad, not bad. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and yeah, so it's solving there's some weird horror crimes, but you learn how and why and who connected to what involving the basically the founding of Gotham, right? So it's well, Bruce's dad, Oliver Queen, the Penguin, and all of them get wealthy, and there's a whole story to that. And that's it. And then well, he had to fight space monsters in the ending, and that's it. And I kind of is one of those tanks I hated things where here's the thing with it. Although here's the thing, I just think that this Batman shouldn't be doing this, right? This is some Justice League dark shit. This is for men like what do you call him? Oh gosh,
Constantine, right?
Constantine. Right.
Yeah,
But having
the
Batman do
shit is right
this,
up his alley, boy. Yeah,
yeah. But having Batman do this is just feel like, oh well, we just taken away we just taken away from the Justice League dark characters. Like, yeah, I want to see the magic characters operate. Like if this was a Justice League dark storyline, love it. It would have been great. I mean, fine. It didn't really work as a Batman storyline in my humble opinion. This is the same problem I have with Gotham and these kind of things. It just falls outside of the purview of what Batman should be with me as a fan, my narrow mindset of what I think Batman works with. That this is the same problem I have with this. If it was a Constantine story or a Justice League Dark story, even a Zatanna story or something like that, it would have worked. Not Batman, right? That why I don't like Batman being part of that. Whatever. As it is, if once you can get past that, it's actually pretty good. Um, I thought it was well told. The animation was good. The final fight was pretty badass. It's just, there's not Batman. At least me as a fan, right? But it still largely works. The story itself was pretty good. Like when they reveal why Thomas Wayne is involved, I'm
Yeah,
like, okay, that's
that was a cool moment though. I must say,
cool moment.
really
Yeah, yeah.
unexpected. Really
That's a cool
unexpected.
moment. The
Yeah.
final battle itself was pretty badass. Like what happened to Batman at the end, and it's like, oh, that real badass.
Yeah.
And then
Unexpected as well, but I was like, all
yeah,
right, I like that.
yeah, and then how they fit everybody into it. So when I was watching this, I first thought, oh, it's a Gotham by Gaslight sequel. But then I saw Jim Gordon, and like, oh no, he wasn't the villain in that. Oh no. So if they're doing their own thing, but it's another period piece, and they just fit all the characters in their own spaces, and it kind of works. I don't love it, but it kind of works. I'm like, all right, moving on. I don't hate it, but we could, I could build from this. And yeah, I didn't hate it in the sense of it's bad or I think like in terms of the voice acting or anything like that. I think everything is well made. It's just this don't feel like a Batman story that should be told. This should totally be a Justice League Dark story. But if you don't care about that, it's fine. It's actually amicable. Quite well done for all intents and purposes. It's just it's not my Batman. At least I hate putting Batman in these kind of spaces because it's undermined. It's take away from other characters or other DC characters. But I get it. Marketing. Batman's the only thing that seems to be selling right now. Whatever.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Well, here's the thing. Here's where I'm kind of conflicted by this, right? Even though I didn't watch any trailer for this, so this the moment I saw the setup, I was like, all right, this had to be from some sort of graphic novel. Like nobody, no animators or writers right now are gonna sit down and say, it'd be cool as if we do a movie and Batman's in the 20s and he had to deal with some Lovecraft shit. No, this had to be from some sort of like, existing source material, right? And then when
Right.
you see
Right.
it's like, yeah, it make a lot of sense, right?
Yeah. It's funny.
So that being said, I can't like as much as I want to nitpick because you're right. I do think that Batman feels kind of out of place. This I understand he's a detective.
Right.
But he doesn't really get to do much detecting because a lot of the reveals are revealed to him without him kind of
Yeah.
figuring it out for himself. It's more or less revealed to him. That's always say don't spoil anything, right? Um, but yeah, you're right. It would have been interesting if we had some more magical, like, led characters now. I was surprised that Oliver Queen was in this. Like when I see him,
Right.
like,
Yeah.
what you doing in this, right?
Right.
But
Yeah.
they make it work, right? They make it work. Even though I was like real like skeptical at first, like, bro, what you doing here, right? Um what I will give credit to the show for is the runtime for this. I like that it takes its time, it's developing the story. Yeah, they might drop a little bad joke or two, a little shit, steal joke or two. But I like that they just building the story, building the characters and whatnot, right? One criticism that that I normally have with these uh graphic novel to film adaptations that Warner Animation puts out is that yeah they will just take like a whole like 12 issue run, like say a perfect example All Star Superman, and compress that shit
Too
down
much
into
of it.
like
Yeah.
what 70 or 80 minutes. I'm like, no, don't
Yeah.
do that, you know what I mean? But this
Yeah.
case, because it's just 3 issues, you know
Yeah.
what I mean, yeah,
It fits
it
well.
gives enough time for the characters to breathe and do its thing, right? Unfortunately though, it still kind of falls into the, oh, you remember, let's see your favorite character in the 20s, and you'll just kind of show up, right? I'm not gonna see which character does that, but yeah, when that character shows, like, wait, you in this too?
Yeah.
Um, Although I will see, the reveal of the name afterwards, and it's there. It starts off as a joke, right? Which for me kind of fell flat, right? When he says the name, right? It's like, all right, I get that, ha ha ha, kind of, right? But then when you see what happens to him afterwards, though, it's like, oh shit, right? And yeah,
Yeah.
that is some straight up Lovecraftian shit, though. I must see this. Just that look alone, right? Was very much up that alley, right? Um, but yeah, this show is kind of chock full with a lot of characters. And again, if they were any source material, fine, but it could feel kind of shoehorned at some points. Like, all right, it's magic, so we got to bring in this character and
Yeah.
this character, that character, that character. Okay, and it's like a who's who now. You know what I mean? And for me, just still trying to get used to this world, it's kind of overwhelming when you're bringing this character just so out of the blue, right? That like that one character that I don't want to spoil, right? Even early on, right, where you see the penguin, right? I was like, wait, what are you doing here? You know what I mean? What, like the setting itself is kind of makes sense, but why are you on this excursion? That's all I'll say without spoiling anything, right? And it's only later on in the third act when it's revealed what really going on. It's like, oh, okay, now I get it. Now I get it, right? I do agree with you. Yes, the animation is solid. I actually dug the voice acting as well too. Didn't expect Emma Gill, Tati Gabrielle, who plays
All right. Yeah. She's in.
Kylie Kane. Yeah, she was in this as well, right? I didn't even know it was her until like the very end, right? And they
Right.
got David Gui going Tolley, if I got the name wrong, forgive me, right? Yeah, he plays Batman, right? I thought that he was good in this. Well, particularly good in this, right? But yeah, the way how the story builds and thing too is pretty interesting. I forgot to mention, even get Jeffrey Combs in this, right? If you're
Okay,
a
right,
horror fan, you remember him for Reanimator, which is
right,
one of the
right.
best, Lovecraftian inspired horror films I would say ever made, right? I love that film, right? Yeah, he was in this, right? He plays Kirk Langstrom, well, one of the scientists that pretty much kicks off
Yeah,
this
man
show
bat.
here,
Yeah,
right? Yeah. It really does lean more into the horror aspect, or more horror and fancy, more horror than fancy, I must say though. And given the subject matter, it works, right? It makes sense, right? But there's a part of it that still feels like it kind of doesn't feel entirely like a Batman film. It just feels like it's Batman, but in this whole magic fantasy horror shit going on kind of thing, right? So yeah, he doesn't really fit properly in this world, or I should say what that made sense is if they had just simply swap Oliver Queen and just put, some other, like, say, John Constantine or some other character that does magic, right? But yeah, to have these human beings go up against these magical beings, it kind of hit or miss for me, right? Um, Also points for actually incorporating Ras Al Ghul in this, right? Because
right.
yeah, in my head I was like, all right, yeah, Ras had to be in this because they kind of set up this thing. They say the cult of Ghul. But I was like, all right, they're really gonna pull the trigger, and yeah, you actually see Ras Al Ghul, right? I
Right.
actually like how they make him look more of a, this usually term, Swami.
Yeah,
it,
very,
they,
very,
yeah,
very. What do you call it, boy? Occidental, Oriental. Yeah,
yeah, very very oriental. Like it feels very much like yeah, like something that you might see out of a film from that era as well too, right?
right.
Not so much the 30s, but in the 20s as well, right? Just that whole mystical being and whatnot, right? And yeah, what they do with him, and of course Talia, because of course Talia had to be there. I thought was pretty interesting as well, right? And how the reveal itself made sense. At first it was a huge stretch, but the more they explain, it's like, all right, I get it now, and I like how it connects to Bruce's origin too, because yeah, one thing I really have to give credit to this show is that it kind of explains why a guy like him in the 20s would be Batman in the first place, right? And yeah, it makes sense. It's a little out of character, but it makes sense, right? And what they do with him in the end was unexpected. But I was like, all right, I like this. It's again, it's references another character, but it works into the horror aspect of it, right? So wasn't in love with this, but I enjoyed it. I admire the effort put into it. The story is a little hit or miss for me. But again, this is what Mike Mignola and some other people wrote and drew and whatnot. So I can't come and tell Warner to change everything up for my sake, right? So I assume that what we see in this film is literally lifted from the source material. So okay, I guess. All right.
Right.
And it really does feel like it's just this one-off thing. So you watch it, you enjoy it, and then you move on, right? So that was me when I saw this, right? And I know it's the same with you, Ricardo. So rated wise, like to decent 3 out of 5, man. It's alright for what it is. But like Gotham by Gaslight, I don't see myself going back to this. Honestly, I think that film came out. I think it was either 2016 or 2018. I have not revisited that show
Yeah.
since then, right? And yeah, I kind of see myself not revisiting this either, right? Just because of the period centric vibe and trying to put a character in this world that don't really fit with him, to be honest. Even though yes, Ras Al Ghul is involved here, right? But still, the animation is solid. The voice acting is solid. Action scenes are solid as well too. And I just really appreciate most of all just how they were able to take the time and just really tell the story without rushing things. It really felt like they put effort into telling this story, right? However hit or miss it was, right? But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. If you're a Batman fan, you'll like it. If you're a Warner Animation fan, you should enjoy it. If you see yourself going back to it, okay, cool. But I personally don't see myself going back to this at all, right? Ricardo, your final thoughts on it.
Yeah. I really wish that this was a little more grounded. And it was an actual detective story instead of all this magic stuff. Like it could be a little bit of magic stuff. And look, Batman, I don't mind if you're doing some magic stuff. As except some of it. But I really felt I wanted something more grounded. And like if you're gonna do the occult stuff and a follow up to Gotham by Gaslight without the extra magic stuff. And I felt it would work a little better for me, but it's still fine. And again, because most of the action is pretty good at the end, and like I can't hate any of that. So, yeah, rating, I don't know, closer to 6 out of 10, closer to a 7, because it's one of those things of tanks I hate it, where you do it well, but I don't like it. I don't like the conceit. But you did it well. So I can't be mad at that because you do your own thing. So moving on.
Yeah, moving on.